Hello, profit takers. It's Victoria here, and we're back with another video. Happy Monday to you all. Today was one of those trading days that was kind of questionable, right? It was looking like it was going to be a little juicy for a Monday, but it just didn't play out right. Okay, some of the stuff that I was looking at, maybe you guys got into something earlier in the day, but the trades that I was looking at today were not that great. So what do you do when the setup doesn't play out? Okay, so let's go in there, let's get in these charts, and let's talk about it. All right, so I was looking at AU today. It was originally a 3 days from the high of the week. So technically that would have been right here. Okay, let me bring my pen out. I don't know why I do this to y'all. I should have my pen ready. 1 second, guys, because I want you to be able to see this. All right, here we go. I think we're cooking with grease now. There we go. So this had to have been the high. So this was the 3. So I was looking at that. So the way the indicator works, it does the count based off of, the market maker cycle. So you would count 1, 2, and 3. But the way that I want you to also look at it is with the 3-day cycle, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So coming in Monday, it's technically starts over, right? It's back to 1. All right. And this is the Burke and Murrow fighting, right? This is the wrestling match because I love both methods of trading, and I think the indicator, you can use it either way. I like to use it both ways because it's always good to know how many days we are from the peak. And we always need to remember that that day matters. Like, it totally matters. Okay. Wherever that new peak was, that is day 1, right? In my book, right? And for the longest time, guys, I did not count this properly, right? That was my whole thing. I was not counting it properly. No one was ever really giving me the actual perfect training that you're supposed to count this new peak day as 1, and then the second day is 2, and then 3. That's how you're technically supposed to count and that's why the Stacy Burke method, for me, it really plays out nicely, and especially when you're coming towards the end of the week and you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But now it's Monday. We have it's a fresh day. The markets have closed already and opened up, right? So it has finished trading. And I was looking at Aussie dollar, I was thinking, okay, if this thing is truly gonna, and first of all, it was looking pretty long to me, but the pattern was also giving like a short. So there was a short trade available right here. But again, you have to remember 2 things on Monday. Well, maybe one whole thing on Monday. Mondays is technically a day that you can just look to trade the high and low of the session or the day. And I'm really trying to have some perfect penmanship here with my mouse, but it's just not working. But just keep in mind that you want to look for those high and low trades. You're typically, unless there was a new peak on Friday, if there was a new peak on Friday, then this should play out nicely. It should. 98% of the time, it should play out nicely. And usually I see those trades playing out really nice in the earlier session. And we had news today at 8:30, which to me didn't really do much. And it was on the dollar. It wasn't really anything like last week. So I was looking at that trade and I was like, okay, is this thing going to go short or is it going to go long? So at any time I'm looking at it, I'm just going to go in and just mark my areas and just wait for price to either break out of it, do a retest and trend, or break out, fail, or break out or do nothing. And so it's always a good idea to identify your London high and low, and then when the market opens. And then also another thing to note is here lately, you are getting some really good trades at 9 o'clock, 9:30, sometimes 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is when typically when price is going to go in reverse. You're going to probably see your 3 pushes in that area for the opposite direction. And then it's going to give you the trend Sometimes it gives you another stop hunt, right? You just never know. But I've noticed around the 10 o'clock time frame, that third hour is really when things really start to trend. So I don't know what your trading time is for New York. Sometimes that works for people. Sometimes it just does not work for people, especially if you're working, right? If you're in the office, it's really difficult to try and trade, around 10 to 11 o'clock when you're, at work. So you have to make some sacrifices. But just knowing on Monday, sometimes it's a 50-50 chance that, the trade is going to work out. And today, this trade didn't really work out like I was thinking, because once it did hit the low, so I had it marked out. I had the low marked out. I don't know what I did with my other chart that I had marked up nicely for y'all. I had this marked out and I saw it pinned. Once it pinned, I went ahead and took this thing long, right? So, I mean, like I said, it wasn't like the best day, right? But it was okay. But it was just not a best, Aussie's not like giving you hundreds of pips either, okay? But it was something. I did close the day to trade another day, because that's what we want to do. We want to survive to trade another day, because we know the opportunities are endless, and if they just don't play out like we want them to, they just don't play out, right? So I did Aussie, and right now the another thing I also want to mention, because when I would count these, I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but when I used to count these and I would see the market, the indicator would say 4, meaning 1, 2, 3, and 4, that would also give me the indication that, okay, now we're really getting ready for a shift in the market, right? That would always tell me. And that's literally 5 days. Okay. Technically it's 5 days the market has been trending. So what I also want you guys to look at it is when you see 3 HOW or 3 LOW, no, that's also 4, right? Okay. So this is also coming towards the end of the market maker cycle. And, things might not play out like we were expecting them to, because this pattern would have been one of those really great patterns where you would have taken it short, which it did give us an opportunity to take it short, but it didn't come down to where I would have expected it to come down to, and then reverse back up, right? It just didn't do it, right? So that's when I see anything doing that trailing of a climbing, it's always an indication that you're going to have a pretty decent reversal. So I was just waiting for this thing to finish out. And like I said, when I saw it hit this low right there, I went ahead and marked it. And then I waited to get into this trade because it was giving me the W formation there that, that you would look for when you're entering. Okay. All right. So what else did I look at today? And I traded, which wasn't even that great either, but I still got a little bit of pips out of it. And that was the dollar Swiss. Okay. So this one, look, it's also showing 3. Okay. And this one changed trend on us on Friday, because Friday, this was giving me the, okay. So here's the thing. The market, the indicator is going to change in real time based on what price does. It does not reprint. Okay. But once price confirms that, okay, we're no longer long, because when I came into the market on Friday, I was thinking this thing was going to give us a long trade, right? But it did not. Okay. It did not. And I would expect it to. Why? Because here's the open. Let me get my pen again. Sorry. So we have open price and then the close price. And usually when we see that, when price is closing above the open, we can always expect it. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, it didn't work out, guys. It didn't work out. So the indicator updated. I remember I was watching this in New York and it updated to I think it was a 1, right? It updated to a 1. I was like, okay, there it is. I was sitting here. I had my levels marked. I was waiting for it to give me some indication, a pattern, a W pattern to go to retest and go long, but it never did. It just kept breaking down. And so I was like, okay, I'll just wait to take this trade on Monday, right? Because if this is going to be what it is going to be, I'll just wait. Okay. So here we are on Monday, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Are you going to work out for me today? right? We have way too many things here to tell us that we're going to go short with these three hits to the high. And it go short? It did. Was it a sorry short? It was. Okay, so I just got in and then I got out. Again, it wasn't anything like fantastic, right? But it did play out. This one did play out today based on giving me the short trade, but it wasn't anything crazy. And I did make people aware that we also have the price where it hit this area now twice. So is price going to come back here and then go long, or is it going to come down here and go short? Right? Don't know. Because right now looks like the open, let me clear this. If it closes below, that usually gives us an indication that we're going to go short, right? Usually that's the indication. Now it looks like it closed at the same, because this white line, if you can see it, is the open price, and you see the day open price there, and it looks like this candle opened and pinned the low, because that's where it pinned it for the second time, and then it came to close here. So we'll see if this thing is going to, if this level is going to hold, because it's looking mighty strong right now, guys. So we'll just see. We might have to change our mind, because guess what? It's now 3 days, right? And so this could technically be the day where it hits this low and then it gets support. So we'll just keep our eyes on that. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right. I was also looking at the Euro CAD. Let me find it. Okay, so the Euro CAD was giving me the vibe too. Like, okay, this was technically, when we came to the charts, remember, a new trading day, this was one. Okay, so what happens the day after? This is one of my favorite setups. Like, it should play out. Uh-oh. There goes my penmanship, guys. It should play out. It's day 2. We're at day 2 of the cycle, of the 3-day cycle, and this should be a great trend trade. Okay, so I was just being patient. I wasn't in the market. Obviously, I wasn't awake for this drop right here when it came back to the open, and then it did a quick retest, and then it finished out here right before New York, right? So once we got the when price came down to this area, we got support, okay, from the low of the day pretty much, and then the open was pretty much a decent long trade. So once it came to the high, back to the high, guys, that's when I went into this market and took a short trade. But again, as you can see, it was not great. Not great at all. So I said today was not that great. So today was pretty much nothing. Like, it was pretty much like a range day. That's why I say on Mondays, you're taking high and low of session day trades. That's what you're pretty much doing. You're not really going to get anything. And you want to get in at the edge of each of these boxes, right? You want to get in right there, and that's it. Like, I got in after it hit the high, and I was like, okay, let's do it, right? But it wasn't that great. So this is even, the day, the market, the day's now closed, and we're still technically ranging. So what do I expect? What do I expect tomorrow? I expect tomorrow to be a continuation of day 2. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen, because nothing really happened today. We're just doing this range bound. So I'm going to look to see if tomorrow is going to give us that opportunity to have a nice clean short trade. And if not, then shoot, we're looking to break this here low right here. That's what we want. We want to break this low, and then we want to get to the 2 ADR. Will it happen tomorrow? I'm not sure, but because today was a range, it might happen. But guess what? Tuesday can also be a range. The market could range for 2 days, and then it closes on Wednesday. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But always make sure that you draw your levels. You have your bias. If it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. We can't make price do what we want all the time. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, the best days, Wednesdays, to trade, and sometimes Thursday and Friday. But it just really just depends on is the market. Do we have news? We have no news. Like I said, today is a Monday, so you're just kind of. It was just one of those things. All right, now I did not post this in the chat, but I took this trade with the US 30. This was a beautiful trade, actually. Let me just go to higher time frame. So I basically, I got in here, I did my due diligence. I had my high of London as my support. And let me see, you guys, let me go to a smaller time frame here. There we go. Yep, so I traded this on M5. It's a little janky here, guys, but bear with me. Okay, so this was a pretty easy trade to take. I just took this thing, I took it long. It was too easy. The ADR high was here. I wish I took a picture of it. But I do have the indicator that gives me the ADR high and low as well. And that's always my target when it comes to these types of trades. So it did hit the ADR, and then that's when I started to get out of the market, because from there it was done with the push. Okay. So if this thing continues on up, guys, then that'll be fantastic. We're obviously looking for prices to break above yesterday's high now and to continue on up. Okay. And that is it, right? I mean, that's all the trades really that I took today. And if you come into a pair and it's not working out, have your little basket of pairs to go and look at. Like I looked at 4 of them today. And then I was done after that, because you don't want to go in and try to continue trading on a day that is iffy anyway. And you're not looking at trades that you can actually scale on a Monday. Typically that really doesn't happen all the time, right? It does happen sometimes, like I said, but it's not all the time that you're going to be able to scale in, right? So for now, we're going to continue on. When I get back to the charts tomorrow, I will come back in here, guys, and I will, well, if you're in locals, I mean, obviously, if you're not in locals, all right, if you don't have, so here's the thing. If you do have the indicator, the profit takers alert indicator, you will get a code for locals so that you can get in there for free. Hold on, let's see if I can open this. Okay, so in locals, I'll go and I will post here it is. I'll have Monday, whatever, Tuesday, every day I post 3 trades in here that I'm looking at. And if I happen to find some more, I'll add them down here as I'm going. But typically I'll just post in here what I'm expecting, what I'm seeing. And then it'll be like, hey, you guys are free to drop your stuff in here as well. Don't be shy. We have some shy people sometimes. In his chat area, you can just chat it up if you want. That's what the live chat is all about. But once I post this, it automatically emails everyone that is a member that has the indicator. So make sure whenever you get the indicator, I do send you a follow-up email, and then you'll have that information there. Okay. That way you can be a part of the community and engage and, let's make this money. Okay, let's do this thing. All right, guys. So that's all I have for now. I will be back, with another video. See what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. And the most important thing about Tuesday is we're trying to see if prices are pushing out of the range from Monday. And then we want to identify our Tuesday high and low, which is called the initial balance, right? So that's what we're looking for tomorrow, okay? All right, guys, have a great evening. We will see you in the next video. Ciao for now.